I'll say whatever you want to do. We get whatever you want to do.
We'll wait for it.
We'll wait for it. All right. What's happening, man? Welcome to the Second Chance Success Podcast. We bring some of the dopest people on to give us some gems, drop some jewels, and bring whatever they can to the table. And today we got a special guest. And it's been, I know I say this, but it's been a long time coming. We've been talking about doing this. We haven't been able to match up schedules, but it's just so happened we happened to be in the gym yesterday. It was like, bro, look, we got a slide open. Let's get it cracking. Dope individual, we say a gym influencer, a father, a dope man. Like without any further ado, man, I'm gonna introduce our brother Shawn, man. Tell us, man, what you doing.
What's up, everybody? First off, thank you. I appreciate you, brother. It's crazy how we first met.
Yeah,
it's all based off energy, and I know this is a way long time, bro.
Yeah.
We've been trying to plan this.
Yeah,
and it's crazy how the plan was not even a plan. It was
right.
Like it was like, let's just get into it. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's talk about these things that we need to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my first podcast getting on here.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people want to hear me speak, hear me talk.
Yeah.
I think just the time in life right now and just how energy works itself out. I think this is the time, me, you, conversations that we always have.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect timing, bro. So I appreciate you getting me on here. And what we can do.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. It's like for, clarification to everybody. I know that we was literally just in the gym working out, bro. And then we walked and we just started talking. We started talking. We was talking like an hour after that too, bro.
The first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you was recording actually.
You was in the background.
You was doing like pull-ups. You had me in the background.
Yeah. You was like, I'm in the background.
I was just making a little joke with you, like,
Yep. And then
you got me in the background. Yeah. Like, that video might go crazy or something.
Right. And he's super humble, bro. Super humble, bro. Cause I was like, he was like, yeah, something, you can tag me in there. And I was like, all right. He was like, I got a couple of followers. Like at that time, you had like 200 something 50K or some crazy shit. And I was like, this dude over here. He's like, I got like a couple of followers. I'm like, bro. But you've always been extremely humble, bro. And understand that about yourself. And as much as you can really flex and do more, you feel me? You choose not to. I wanna start back like bringing up like your upbringing and how you came into certain characteristics and traits about yourself as a man.
Man, honestly, I was a military brat growing up. My dad was in the Army for 20 years plus. So every 2-3 years, we was always moving.
Right.
Within that time, bro, about like 13 years old, I had my first seizure. My mom's brother passed away, and it got us really into our spirituality at that time as a family, of bringing us together. But around like 13, I had my first seizure. Sports was everything to me. So then after that, just taking care of my body and my mind. It was like the doctor told me, like, because it's scary, it was real scary back then when I had my first one. I had the worst of the worst of the worst. So like drinking and any of those type of things was like, don't do it.
Right.
Right. And so from a young age at like 13, my dad would take me to the gym with him. And from then it was just like, all right, these are the things I have to do to keep healthy, to keep, to stay alive longer. I need to be alive. I don't want to die,
Come on.
And what else does that involve? It involves me not putting myself in situations that aren't going to have good outcomes, putting myself around certain people. So exercising was something that was important to me. And it was something that my brain, like schoolwork and all that other type of stuff, man, like it was hard for me to really like focus. My brother is super smart, right? But me, man, I was like, dang, it was hard like for me to focus. But working out and like understanding my body I just understood that it wasn't hard on my brain. It wasn't hard on anything. Yeah. And then that was just me digging in spirituality as well during that time at a young age. Like, I got to believe in God to keep me to go through with this and to keep me with my body. And I didn't see the outcome later on in life. I just knew this is what's keeping me happy now and making me feel good and, making me feel good with sports and just being a positive person, and then that's just the man I ended up kind of growing into and just, learning through those certain things. And those things at a young age, you don't see the money involved in it. You don't see like the business involved in it. You don't see me just working out. It's just like, oh, you just work out. What are you doing for your job? Or what are you doing for this? Like when you're young, you're just like, so I was scared all the time growing like, what am I going to do? What is my purpose in life? What is, I don't know. I just know how to work out and be a good person. That's really all I ever knew. Like, I'm just trying to stay alive and be a good person. I just want to have love and a family. And I just don't want to have another seizure that takes me away because, when I have a seizure, it's like kind of like a death, like everything goes dark, black, and then I'm out of it. And then I don't remember nothing. And when I come back from it, it's a lot of like sadness involved and
Right.
like, oh man, I'm alive, and that gratitude that comes out. And that kind of just been kind of like who I've been at a young age, and just the man that I keep trying to develop into, within these like obstacles that come up along the way.
So I like you said you was able to, and it's crazy you said that it was your body you fully understood. Like in the school thing was a little different because you're so well spoken, and like anytime we talk, it's like you wouldn't think that. You know what I mean? So we're talking about like what are some things that you feel like were like developmental in your mindset? If you was to sit back and say, man, young Shawn had these like 3 core traits about him that helped him develop into this man, what would those be?
One was my faith for sure, bro. Like faith in general, knowing that there's a scripture that talks about the one that doubts. It's like the waves of the sea. It goes about nothing, but the one that has his faith, be sure, like, but if you doubt, God ain't it's as good as nothing, that doubt is. And so one thing I always knew is if I have my faith, then the things that I truly believe in are going to happen. Right. And when it came to like fitness, I never had that doubt. Right.
Right.
So like, that was the thing where it was like, man, I want to be really good at football. And these are the things that I'm going to do. Right. Or any sport that I really like loved, or exercise and working out. I want to get stronger. I want to get faster.
Right.
There was never a doubt. Like, I'm not going to get stronger. I'm not going to get faster. No, I'm going to do these things and I'm going to get stronger, faster. If I want to get abs, I'm going to get abs. There was never a doubt. Now the doubt played in from how I'm going to make money. How I'm going to do this. What am I going to do in my life? Am I going to be loved by the woman that I want to be loved by? Like those doubts.
Yeah.
But go back to that scripture I tell you about that. When you have that doubt, it's as good as nothing. Those are the things that now as a man, I still try to work on, like trying to now understand those doubts refer to everything. Will Smith has a book about it on one of his new books. Will Smith. Yeah. He talked about like, he related fitness and like that to like just business wise in general. Right. And it was something dope that when I read it, like to understand like, everything's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of the same. But
like
it's all about having faith in those things and doubt. So like when I go back to that, like just never having doubt, when it comes to fitness and to being a good person, I knew the more I rely on God, the better person I'm going to be. It's always when I started getting off track. That's when when you get off track and you forget about those kind of qualities. But ultimately, I think I've trained myself a lot within that time to still remain a good person. Not just when I go off track, it's like I'm not going way off track. My conscious works where it kind of like, man, I'm going off. And even if I have these certain feelings that are going on in my life or, in my heart, I know what to do.
Let me ask you that real, because we're going to get to the other two, but so we're talking about faith, right? And so like one thing that they say is hyper successful people, they feel that they deserve what they're going after and what they plan to get. They believe in themselves like wholeheartedly, like that this is mine and I'm gonna get this, and it sounded like you have that. Do you think having that kind of mentality can shade into arrogance at all, or can appear as overconfident? Like, what is your opinion on that? Because I like to believe myself as extremely confident in what it is I am, though I have doubts on other things, but there's certain stuff I know for a fact I'm the best at, So what do you think about that?
Oh man, first part of that, I think it's hard when you're somebody who has like a nice body and stuff. Because if you have that, like, hey, I'm confident, or like you're a douche, or you're this, or you're a gym head, or you're this person, and you're automatically judged. So I think something that makes that confidence a little bit where you say I'm humble. It's like, man, dealing with caring about what people think so much, because I get judged so much off of just my appearance. Wow. That was something else that I understood, that all right, well, everybody sees with their eyes, so I'll use the appearance then to get who I truly am in my soul out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I forgot what part of that other question that you said. What was it?
Well, it's like, do you correlate? Could that ever be like shadowed as arrogance, like the faith thing, or?
No, I don't think it's arrogance. I think at the end of the day, like, like when it comes to success for me, success is about, I measure it about how happy you are, right? It's not about, it's never been about a money thing for me or anything. So ultimately, when I'm coming from a state of confidence and from my heart, if you want to call it confidence or whatever, it's coming from my heart. So it's about genuineness to me. It's there's no confidence. This is what I believe in this. It's not just to take your money to get more money from you, or it's not about the material things that the world offers. To me, it's about how can I help these people in my life, and what can I do to fulfill my purpose in life. And to me, if you want to call that if you want to call that arrogance, or you can name it any bad type of term you want, in my heart and soul, I know it's coming from a good place. It's not about the material things. like the furthest person away from a material person, which is crazy.
Right.
But when people look at me,
Yeah.
they think
I
opposite.
mean, when you pull up in the Tesla and
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
with the Department de la Galleria, nah, man.
There's a moment
but-
in my life though, bro, where you
Yeah.
know, like I'm a single father, and I've been
Yeah.
since my son was 3 years old and have full custody of him.
Come on.
About to be 9.
Yeah.
Man, there's times my mom and dad helped me have to buy him clothes for school. You know,
Come on.
like, you know, I didn't make nothing.
Yeah,
Bro, we
yeah.
were struggling. You know,
Yeah.
I was working the medical field, and I didn't have that, bro. So
Right.
like, I didn't buy myself. My mom would buy me clothes here and there because I didn't care to buy clothes or
Right.
shoes. I had the same
Right.
clothes and shoes since high school, and I was
Right.
like, I wore gym clothes. You know, like,
Right,
it was like that.
right.
It was go gym, home, take care, be a dad, and
Yeah.
go to work. Like, there was nothing more to it. You
Yeah.
know, like, so now in my life where I'm like, oh man, like, for me being a good person and me just like trying to fulfill like my purpose and what I feel in life, and is to help other people
Mhm.
through the things that I've known since I was a young age, and who I'm growing into be a man.
Right.
I understood how the world works in a sense too, though, right? Like, we
Right.
bring back, if I come in here and I'm not dressed nice at all or anything,
Come
you know,
on,
people
image,
look
man.
past who you
Image.
truly are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's like somebody could have a lot of knowledge about like a sport or fitness, but they might not look the part. So I don't want to hear you, right? And so it's the same thing with anything. If I pull up in a nicer car like a Tesla or something,
Yeah.
you know, or a nice watch. Shout out
Yeah.
GLD, by the way.
Hey, come on, big
Shout out
GLD. Big
you
shout
know,
out.
partner by GLD.
Yes.
GLD, so you gotta give them a shout
GLD,
out.
GLD.
GLD. Y'all know
GLD,
GLD.
okay.
Go hit the links in the bio.
Hit links in the bio, man. We gonna have it on there, right? We gonna have it on there.
You know, when you start getting these things, man, it's the way the world works is they start seeing these things and they end up wanting these other things. So that's why, you know, even with the social media and business aspect of it, I started understanding, okay, I got to use my body, right?
Right.
Because then people see, but then when they come here, they get the actual message of what I'm really trying to preach out here, and what I feel like it is to be a man, and these qualities to have, and you know, putting God first in your life, regardless of any situation that you go through in life. So
I think that's extremely important. I mean, I remember I read it was talking about saying how once you get to a certain level, or you're working to get towards a certain level, image does matter. Let's not play. And let's not be honest. Let's be honest, like sex doesn't sell, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And we're not, for those who don't know, we're not talking like physically, intimately sex, right? Like, but the attraction, bro. And it's like scientifically proven that like more attractive individuals, you know, they get a little more opportunities, you know, and then once you put that together with your body fit, most of the successful people that we know, if you think about it, they work out. And a lot of the hyper successful young ones, at least, are pretty physically fit. I don't know one real super successful like individual of a certain age group that isn't on video putting videos out of working out. Now they might not be Shawn muscle, but they're working out and putting it together, bro. So I definitely understand. And doctors say when they became doctors, they got certain cars because you can't pull up and say you're a doctor in a Suburban 2003, like, you know, pull up to the networking meeting, like they're like, you're the best surgeon in town, you know what I mean? But and that's just the world we're in, you know. But I love the fact that you said faith. Now we had two more. What do you think is another thing that little Shawn had that built into Big Shawn?
I ain't gonna lie, I've always had this mentality where it's like I feel like I have power in my voice. Since I was a young age. Like, I don't talk. I mean, when you know me and get to know me, I talk a lot, right? But when I was young,
some good stuff though.
Yeah. So I've always knew, like, I just had like at a younger age, like, man, there's this power that God has given me. So when I do speak, it means something. You know what I mean? So that's something I could think about off the top. Where like when I'm in a setting and I'm in a room, people want to listen to me because what I have to say, it comes from the heart. I'm a genuine speaker. So like, it's hard when like cameras and all this like right up in my face. Cause it's like, I have to be like, I mean, you know how I am when you see me in person. It's like, what's that conversation? If we're in the sauna, whatever it may be, it's going to come straight from the heart. And normally when that happens, I'm speaking from the heart. And so it comes out good, the energy and whatever that topic is, I'm helping somebody out throughout the day.
Come on.
So like the power that I feel like God has given me within my voice and just like being able to talk about things that, you know, a lot of men don't want to talk about, you know, which sometimes it gets me like, he might be kind of sensitive or something like that. But it's like, I don't feel like that has to be a man. I've dealt with depression. I've dealt with certain things in my life still to this day. You know what I'm saying? But like, the more that I'm able to be like, all right, you see how I am. You, people who know me too know how I am in all situations, you know, but I'm okay. I'll be the man to be vulnerable and be like, you know, this is what I'm going through, because I know that I'm not the only person in the world that's going through these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes we get so trapped into that mindset that, man, nobody knows what I'm going through right now. It's only me going through this. And I'm like, people just always used to naturally open up to me from a young age.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did everybody open up to me?
Yeah.
But along that journey, I'm like, oh man, they don't even know. Like, I'm dealing with that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wouldn't say nothing, right? So I just be like, and then give them advice. I'm like, then you see things online now, and it's like, I always thought too, from that young age, it's just like having power in my voice. And that's why, like, I've always been kind of scared to get on the camera and to really speak, because it's like, I'm so self-conscious in a sense about it, or I'm not like really good with, you say I'm a good speaker and stuff, but I feel like it's only a genuine, but when it's like, all right, you got to use the right verbiage and words and all these things. And like, I'm like, I'm like, I don't know how to speak really. I'm from the heart speaker. That's
the beautiful thing, bro. Like, we're not a newscast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I've done some pretty big speeches. I prepare like the day before, bro. But it's like it's understanding, like we're talking about. It's like, as long, and that's why I love you keep saying it's coming from the heart, it's coming from your soul, it's coming from your spirit. When you're genuine about it, it's like there's no practice. It's you. Like, you know what I mean? This is you, bro. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate that you allow you. When we seen each other yesterday at the gym, bro. I was walking, I was kind of like in my head, and remember you walked up to the side, I was like, what's up, bro? I looked up, I was good. And then you was telling me you was going through something at the time. And it was crazy because the situation weren't identical, but it's around the same thing. And I was like, dang, bro, I'm not even gonna front with you, bro. I'm going through it bad right now, like emotionally, mentally, bro.
You're probably thinking like, dang, he has it worse a little bit.
Huh? Bro, no, I don't know. It depends. But I was like, it was dope to hear another man to admit that, bro. And I think that I remember I was in the juvenile working with the young people, and the one young dude was like, yeah, the sad part of my day is I almost see my dad cry. And I was like, how many people here have cried before? You know what I mean? So they been in here, they didn't raise their hands. I said, let's be honest. I'll give you a minute. I said I cried like a couple months ago, and I cried watching the Frozen on Ice. Like, what I mean? And it was a moment for me because I was with my daughter and my good friend and his daughter, and I was like, I never thought I would be able to afford to bring this experience to someone that I care and I love about, let alone myself. And so, like, I think masculinity, and we're gonna get into that too. I think masculinity is it's messed up how it's portrayed, because one of my guys shared something. He said it feels better to be a warrior in a garden rather than a gardener in a war. Like, it feels good knowing what you're capable of, but being gentle enough to be firm and vulnerable, but knowing that you're capable of war if it had to be that point, to protect your family, protect yourself, to protect your household, So I commend you for that, bro.
And we think about Jesus, man. He cried. He's a perfect man.
Come on.
So sometimes it's like, oh, you're not manly if you shed some tears and stuff. Why do we only have to shed tears when somebody passes? It's not to show love. Sometimes when you really get deep into your feelings as a man, right? Whether it's the woman you want to be with, or just within your parents, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that's really touching your heart. Man, sometimes crying, you got to do it. And then you feel better from it because you're not holding it in. A lot of people hold that stuff in and they don't know how to deal with it, man. And that's when they do something crazy around the world. So it's like, you know what? I got to be there for my son. I got to be there for the people that love me. Even if I get into a dark hole, if I got to cry, I'm going to cry.
Right. No,
that ain't going to make me less of a man. You still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
real talk, bro. And I think, man, like you said, a lot of cats, they do cry behind the scenes. And like you said, they don't, and I'm not telling anybody they got to go run on top of a mountaintop and cry to the world, but I mean, shit, let that out, bro.
No, for
you know what I mean? I think that's one big thing that we have in common. We're talking about with masculinity and being men, right? And how I remember we were sharing different, like, our similar opinions on like what it should look like to be a man. You know what I mean? And how that is, bro. And so, and I want to get into that, but I want to get into the third piece about this. We got the power of your voice. We got faith. What's the third piece?
Man, just top of the head right now. I just say, I've always been a lover, bro.
Come on,
I've been a lover. So,
I just accepted that about myself.
So having that spirituality, and just knowing that the greatest quality you could possibly have is love, and love is everything in this world. That's how I've been. So like when it comes to like friendships along the way, when it comes to relationships that I've made, man, my love and loyalty was something that like I've given it all the time, and I've always seen the best in everybody. Like when people be like, how do you see that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just like, and I stick around some of these people that they might not be that good, but for some reason, I'm like, when I gave my love, loyalty to these people, I'm like, I just see the best. They might be doing this, but you don't know them the way I know them, right? Like, I see the amazing qualities of these people, right? And it's like, sometimes that'll get you down a path too, but it's a lesson that you can learn as well. But you have to, the older you get, you have to start learning when to branch off. Like I planted that seed for you to know these are the qualities of you that, man, bro, like if you just locked in on the things that you could really truly help other people, but like if you're going to keep doing this, like I got to, you know, it's not going to help me because you got to benefit me in your life some way too. You can't, we're sponges, man. So if you're around somebody that's trying to make you do these things, eventually it's going to start catching on to you. So, you know, just that love quality, bro, like about me is like, man, it's something that I'm blessed to have. A lot of people don't have it, you know, but at the same time, it kind of sucks, man. Cause you go through them heartbreaks, you go through people, you know, being disloyal to you. They, you lose people that you call brothers, through, you know, relationships, some women that you loved with everything you had that you couldn't see yourself not be with anymore. Right. And these people, like, they're good or worse, you know, you're supposed to love, like, you know, because it's when you based yourself off the Bible and you know, during God's word, like, that's always been me. So like, those are the things that ends up affecting me, but it's helped me to be where I'm at today in life. So, you know, even through those bad times, when you really reflect on them and pull out the good of it, it's like, man, I'm not gonna put myself down for being a lover, you know. I'm not less of a man for being a lover. Yeah. I'm a lover, not a fighter. It's all good. You know, if I gotta fight, I gotta protect. Trust. My biggest quality though is a protector though. And every woman that I've ever had in my life in a relationship like that, they know that's the main thing about me. I get that from my dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm a military brat. Like being a protector is everything to me. But I'm not gonna sit around and try to be like, to be cool, I gotta be a fighter. Right. I'm a lover. It's good. And everybody who knows me knows I'm a lover, even if sometimes I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? But, but that's what makes you a better person in the long run, is trying to, you know, I've had my moments where I regret that I didn't show things all in a loving way. Right. But I know that I am a good man because at a young age, I already knew what love meant and what it means to love. So,
you know, hold on. Before I say my part, what does it mean to love in your definition?
Oh man, for me to love in my definition, I feel like it's something straight from like your heart and your soul, and it's something that you have to put God involved in it. And if God's not involved in it, then it's not really true love to me, because God's love is a different type of love. And when we have that type of love, it's something that can't be broke. It's like that 3/4 chord that the Bible talks about. Right. And when you don't have that, that's when things get handled. And that could be in, you know, your friendships, your brothers, you know, you know, wives, you know, you know, relationships. If you don't have it, then you're not really loving it. And I think that's why when we talk about my form of love, it's like I realized the relationships that I lost, that I really truly put God involved in that relationship, just because I loved that type of way and it was for good, worse, and I seen all the good in you. But did I truly put God involved in that relationship with love? And I can look in the mirror as a man and be like, certain these situations, maybe I started it, but I fell off of it, and I fell off of who I was and what I really meant with love. And maybe that's why the love didn't end up lasting with these friendships or relationships along the line. But I feel like you got to have God within that love, because man, that love's everlasting love. You know, that love gets through everything. That love gets through the worst, darkest, old school love. You know? And that's what every man really wants, right? They want a woman to really truly love them for like, man, like I messed up, but you got me. You know, like, you're gonna push me to be better because you know who I truly am. You know, it's like and that's just that type of love I have. Like, man, you might really truly hurt me, but if I told you I love you or you're my brother, bro, just know I mean that. Right? So when you really take out the loyalty and you're like, I don't care, or you do me wrong or something, man, that type of stuff hurts me, bro. That's what I'm like, I'm just like, man, like it takes me a while to process it. Right. But then, like I said, when it goes back to accountability, how did I put God involved in those relationships? And I got to be truthful with myself at the end of the day. Did I be true to the core of the man that I was since a kid and how I was raised and the things that I know that's right and wrong? Did I kind of veer off and be a sponge to certain people in my life too? Did I deal with stuff I know I shouldn't have dealt with? You know what I mean? And then, and you know, talking about that type of stuff kind of gets me a little emotional, because you know I'm a deep person, you know. So anytime we talk about crying emotional, you know, everybody knows I talk emotional, you know, sometimes the tears will start coming because it's true and it's from the heart. And I think that's what makes me the speaker that I am, because it's never a facade with me. I'm never trying to I don't care about following. That's why the humbleness and stuff like that comes in. I don't care about money. I don't care about how many followers I got. I don't care about none of that, bro. I just care about being happy. I care about putting the good qualities out there in the world to help other people. I want everybody happy. You know, I want everybody to live the life that they deserve. I don't want people getting themselves into certain situations or have bad upbringings. you know, some people's upbringings, there's somebody that's been through the same thing that you might have been through that have made it and be happy. And it doesn't just mean material. It could be just simply finding God, you know?
Right.
So,
And I like, I know a lot of times we talk, you're really rooted in your faith, bro. One big thing, like, is to love. Is that one golden rule: love others like you love yourself, like what you want to do yourself. Do not what you want to do yourself, right? It's about love, bro, and loving on people. And one thing about myself, bro, there's a few things I had to accept as I got older. You know, I had a misconstrued view of what love was, and so in time, it's like for we're gonna get, I like, because we're gonna get into, like, you know, men and women and stuff, like, because this is a great pivot. I had a misconstrued vision of what love was. So my love for my homeboys and my brothers was like this. And it's like, and that's when times I felt betrayed, why I went so hard against them in that manner in the streets or whatnot, was because I'm like, you broke my heart, bro. You hurt me, like, deeply. I didn't understand that then. I thought it was just anger, but it was really hurt and pain, right? But my love when it came to women, right, or ladies at the time, it was different. I love like crazy, bro. You know what I mean? And it's like hella passion, right? But then the thing that come with it, though, is I loved often, and I loved multiple times, and I loved when I wasn't supposed to love, and I didn't even know how to love, and I didn't really honestly know how to receive love. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
and I see a lot of our young people, man, our young and the young ladies. I see them wanting to be loved and in love, like we naturally want to do, and some of them don't really understand how to receive love, nor do they know how to truly give the love. And it puts everybody in weird situations. You know what I mean?
For sure,
you know, and sometimes, bro, if you think about it,
bro.
and if you think about it, bro, and this is kind of on the side of that, like, sometimes it's not meant for this individual to be like your sexual partner. So like sexual energy is an energy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can be attracted to somebody and it shouldn't be in a sexual thing moving that could be, there's all these different things, but it's like, one thing I pray for is I'm like, God, give me wise discernment, bro. Like, give me prudence so I can know and understand more. You get what I'm saying? Because I make so many mistakes seeing potential. You know what I mean? Seeing potential in people, seeing the best in people, which is a great thing to be able to do. But like you said, it's like having the wisdom to know when, bro. And so let me ask you this now, and let's move on to like women. You know what I mean? Where are you now when you identify a woman that you might see potential in, but you don't want to throw like, you know, because I know I got a lot of young men on here, young ladies, young people on here. So I mean, like, where are you at on that?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. First off, woman that's probably we all have things that affect us the most in life, and woman is what really, like, man, they affect me the most. Where I might not even want to work, nothing. If my heart is broken, bro, like, it's like, like, that's something that I've had to learn to understand, because, you know, certain situations too, you like you said, you know, sometimes you don't know how to love when it comes to certain things, and within that, like, sometimes we put ourselves in these situations that we know that this might not be the best situation to really to show love, right? And we might do things under our own selfish desires and not under God's way. And therefore, was it really truly love, or did we put ourselves in bad situations to love these people or these individuals, or were we true with them? Like you said, like you had like when it comes to your brothers, you know, and this is where I'm at with this now in my life, and I've kind of been down this path right now. It's like, when you're with your brothers, right, you could talk about anything and everything, right? Right? You could tell them everything. But you can't tell your girl everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell your brothers everything. And I'm like, well, you could act a certain way, but if you were to bring your girl around, it's like,
switch it up.
hey, shh, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't talk like this. And I'm like, you know what, though? Like, if I want to, like, man, that's my missing piece in my life. I can't wait to be married and have another kid again, bro. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think a lot of people might not know that about me, but that's really the truth of it. Like, and that's what really be hurting me, you know, through these like relationships that didn't work out, and the ones that you know, I'm forming and things like that. It's like, I know what my missing piece is, but am I relying on God for these things?
Right.
But within that, to answer your question too, it's like, if I can be like this around my brothers, I want to be around the one I love, the girl. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The woman that I want to spend my life with. Like, I want her to be around my friends and stuff, knowing like Shawn is Shawn no matter what. He's like that at the gym. He's like that
Transparent.
around his friends, and he's
Transparent.
completely open and honest with me, you know?
Mm.
And I'd rather be that way. And that's how I've been right now along this journey. It's like, this is how I am. This is how I'm around my friends. You're not gonna get it. If I tell you something and I have the woman that I love next to me, and you're at my house and you slip up and say something, I can't even be mad at you because you as my homie, I'm gonna tell you, hey, bro, if I decide to tell you something, hey, that's on me. And I know it might sound stupid to other people, but if this is somebody that I love, I want that person to love me the way I'm gonna love them and be there through everything and know everything, even my wrongs, the things I need to work on. You know what I'm saying? Like, to let something grow, you gotta allow it to grow as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you could pretend and make these people, make these like women happy all day long, right? But deep down inside as a man, you look in the mirror and be like, I haven't been 100% truthful too about this. Maybe I'm just trying to, and that's why I think a lot of times love gets turned into a sexual thing only, right? Because it's like, now I'm only feeling love if I have sex, right? Because you're not really truthful about everything, so not everything stimulates you. You're just trying to make them happy, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But when you get locked in and being like, I'm gonna be true to who I am, what are the things that make me happy? What are the things that make me happy outside of sexual desires and things like that? I want to be this person everywhere I go.
Right.
And the woman that's standing next to me, I want to be able to, I want her to look at me in a sense like I have that trust with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I know all the wrongs about him, all the way he acts, his goofiness and all this type of stuff. He acts like that with me, and he don't change around his friends. Where I think a lot of times nowadays, like entertainment, social media, like that's why I'm humble too about social media, because I think a lot of times people go on there and they're just doing stuff for entertainment. They're not, and I'm not a fake person. Like I'm really not like I'm like that's where I'm like I'm just always real, which kind of like I feel like that's why my circle is so small. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always real. So it's hard for me to be like, let me put this around, because then I feel like I'm making content or I'm doing something. I'm like, that's not me though. Like I'm a heart type of person, And so when it comes to like relationships and love and where I'm at now in my life, I just want that person next to me to understand that I'm gonna give you the truth about my feelings. If I'm still healing from a past, I'm not holding. I don't want to hide anything. If there's questions that you have to ask me, even if they're uncomfortable, I'm gonna give you the answer.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay in my life within this situation and help me continue to grow and to flourish, I'm gonna do the same for you as well. And that's already known. And I want to know those things about you, but I'm not gonna force that person. But as a man, you gotta lead by example, and I firmly believe that. So that's kind of the path I'm on now when it comes to that, brother. Like I feel like it's very important to be that way.
I like what you're saying. So this morning, I'm reading a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, how to lose your mind and create a new one, bro. And it's been fundamental to a lot of my changes in life, bro. Like just energy wise, it talks a lot about like energy, quantum physics, just like how to become somebody, like literally change your way of thinking, bro. And one thing that was talking about today is closing the gap of the person that you really are and the person that you put out in front of the world. And they're like, right, like down here, you got the lower vibrations, the emotions in the lower vibration feelings, like the shame, the fear, the doubt, that are really the deep inside you, right? But then right here, you put everything else, like you put this facade out. And so you want to unlearn these things and get to right here in the middle where that gap's closed. And it's that middle part is you. And that's you. And it's talking about being fully transparent, which is love, love of yourself, love of the people. But you have to close that gap, bro, and become that. And I've had a hard time doing like being in, if I'm being fully transparent, like especially with women, you know what I mean? It's been like, I don't know, but when I look back at it, it's like survivor's mentality. That's a low vibration. We be talking about vibration too. It's a low vibration mentality. It's a selfish way of living. You know what I mean? And so like, for you to have that working understanding of like, this is where I want to be, and to be like, even if it's uncomfortable, I think that everybody needs to hear that, right? I know I want to pick your brain on this, being, I would consider you going after more success. I hate telling people like you're a successful person. I know your mentality. There's so much more you plan on doing, bro. So as a man, I would consider you're a high value man, right? What do you think that some of your responsibilities are when it comes to you and a woman? And do you think there's responsibilities of a woman? What's your take on that?
Oh, you mean like responsibilities of
yeah, like, well, It could, like, you know, not like house. It don't have to be over. It could be household, but I mean, like, in
that's
general.
what I think when it comes to me, bro. I've been like, I'm just gonna be real. I've been like mom and dad for the last like 6 years of my son's life. So like, me as a man, it's about being organized. I clean, like that's why I make cleaning videos all the time.
Hey, it was so dope, bro. At the
like,
cleaning video,
as a man, I feel
yes.
like I can clean, cook.
Yeah.
You know, take care of myself. I take care of my son.
Right.
Like, you know, I know how to be like a mom in certain situations. I know how to be a dad in certain situations.
Mm.
So then it's like, I don't expect any of that from a woman, you know. I just want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll clean, I'll do all those things. You know what I'm saying? I just need somebody to help me grow, like and believe in me and have that faith in me within that. You know what I'm saying? And not just stimulate me just off sexuality. I need more than that. I need more to the table. I need, what are your dreams and your aspirations, and how can I help you as a man do these things? Because if you like to clean or you don't, I'm going to clean anyways, but we could do it together. You know what I'm saying? You like to work out or you do, we could do it together. Like these are things that I think are already core qualities that I already present as a man, as a father, as a person. So when a woman, it's like, I feel like they don't have to have that much of a response. Like, I don't know.
No, I respect it, bro. I respect it, bro. Like, you know,
love me, bro. That's it.
It's so right. You know, I think that it's so crazy. I was talking to one of my guys. He's doing pretty good now. He got he's a journeyman, right? He's a journeyman now, making some cool money a year. And we were talking, like, I was like, man, I remember when, you know, we used to be like, yeah, man, female got to put up on the bottle, got to put up on the blunt. If she's not caking out a little bit, like, you know, run me like $20 or something, you know what I mean? Like cheap shit. But I'm like, I think when you depending on the field you're in, I think once you reach a certain level of success, you know, and then you know where you want to go as far as in like relationship, love, if that's where you want to go, a lot of shit isn't as important as it was. Because then as a man, especially if you're on that growth mindset, you just want somebody to grow with you. You just want somebody to be one, man. It was crazy. I was it was today, actually. I swear to God. I was driving, man, and I had thought of like a recent success, bro. Like we had a real dope business deal go through. It was so beautiful. And I didn't really have nobody to, like, as far as like a woman counterpart to be like, man, they would understand it. And be like, man, and like, and I was sitting there thinking, I've been in this spot before. And I was like, it's not only the loneliness that gets you, it's the not having somebody to celebrate with you as your partner that gets you. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like that person that you like, babe, look, she's like, all right, babe, we're doing it. And it's growing, you know what I mean? And you having those times and you go celebrate together and shit, you know what I mean? And that's what we look for at these points, bro, is someone that's gonna ride with us and grow and be on that. And don't be fake with it, bro. Cause some women, and it's honest, some men will do it too, like, but some women will pretend they're on what you're on just to get around you for a minute.
No, for sure.
You know, I was just about to go off. Come on, go ahead, bro.
Like right now, the new generation, like people now, bro, it's bad. So that's like, it's hard to deal with now. Like, I want somebody, like, I know I'm gonna be successful in the things that I want to do, because the purpose that I feel like God has for me and where I'm at in my life now, I have so many opportunities to do things. But I need some. And then I started realizing a new group of people that try to talk to me, which I end up falling into certain traps in life. Right. You know that, because I told you women are the worst. Like my issue that I deal with. Right. And so within that success coming, I started seeing certain things that I didn't get to see before. And I'm like, I've always been this man, though. You know, with or without any of these things. Right. And ultimately, it's like, I need a woman to love me. If I lost it all today, come on, are you still gonna love me the same? And if you are, that's what I don't need you to love me when things are all good. What if I lost it all? Come on. And so then it's how do you know that? You know, you gotta really get to it. And the only way you could really get to it, you have to be very communicative and know who you're dealing with. It's not just playing around with the word love. You know what I mean? Like I told you, like our generation now, it's like, you know, a lot of times I feel like girls nowadays is like the way that they feel like they can show it is only through sexuality, right? Like, and it's like, and then the men fall for it. And then now we're in a whole thing. You got to be this way. And then the energy don't ever work itself out. You know, and just to be real about, like, you know, the situations when it comes to like females, it's also about, you know, looking in the mirror at yourself as a man, because that's how we grow, right? And not all the times, even if that love doesn't work out, it's when that situation went bad, or these situations have went that way, that I ultimately show love at the end of the day. Even if this person left my life, or if this brother left my life, you know, did I show love, or was I so mad and angry that they gave me these emotions, that all the things that they done wrong and all the things, and you know, and I'm gonna throw all that at you. I'm gonna hurt your feelings back, right?
Mm.
Or is it like, man, I truly had love for that person and I seen the good in that person. But even though I might have to walk away or this situation has came to an end, I know ultimately I walked away with love, right? And so that's the hard part. Our selfish desires get in the way of that. And I think a lot of that comes from, the sexual desires and situational things for sure. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about like really tapping into love when the situations, the Bible keeps telling us slow to anger.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
You said that yesterday, bro.
Being slow to anger, being patient, being kind,
Yeah.
Like, man, these situations sometimes are hard. You know what I mean? You got a little chat about it yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're like, man, it's so easy with your selfish desires to go down that path.
Yeah.
That's the path that the devil wants us to go down because that leads to actually nothing, right?
Yeah.
And when love is broken, your heart hurts.
Right.
Man, it's easy to kind of flip a switch to kind of be like, all right, now all my traumas and things, I could relate it. I'm gonna go at you like this now. But the ultimate, even if you're hurting and you do it with love, you start feeling better day by day.
Yeah.
And you start working on yourself.
Yep.
And the biggest thing about me is that I'm infatuated with evolving, with getting better. Like I'm able to look in the mirror at the end of the day as a man and be like, I sucked at that. I did that horrible. I didn't do that. And people might look at me and be like, Shawn, you're a good dude, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't really have that much to work on. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, nah, I know what I need to work on, man. And I know the things that I went wrong. I'm not even worried about the person right now, what they did.
Right.
These are the things that I've done wrong in my life. These are the ways I've done wrong to these people that were my friends and that I consider brothers as well.
Right.
These are why these situations unfold. I need to get better from this. And I need to start putting better energy out so I could do the things that I love to do. And me as a man, and even with my company, it's about putting myself and saying, as a man, saying, go ahead, see all my faults. I'll put myself on that scale and you could judge me, you could do all that, but you're going to see that I'm going to get better. I'm going to evolve and I'm going to get better. And I'm okay with putting all my sins on the table.
I love that. And I want to get into that. Let's get into that, to evolve. Give us a little bit about what that is. Like, give us a little bit about your company, because I really don't know everything you do. Yeah, I'm like, but I know you do something.
So I think a lot of like my following and stuff too. In the beginning process, I kind of talked about it, but for a long time I didn't. Because during the blow up and all that, it was like partnerships here and there, and then I had to start making content for them and doing things, and it kind of got away from, and I didn't talk about really truly what it was. So I feel like it's a good opportunity to actually talk about evolve and how I came up with it. There's a moment in my life where man, I almost killed myself for real. Like man, it's sad, but I went through a real dark depression. I was very not happy in my life. I wasn't physically looking good. To other people, they might like, you look good. It was the worst I've looked in my life. Wow. And I was sad, man. I was going to work. I'm like, and I remember the day I almost did it too. And then the boss came out, come talk to me, and it's just something clicked. And I'm like, it's dealing with seizure medicine as well too. Like a lot of the side effects is like they amplify those type of feelings of like, like suicidal thoughts and like depression, anger, and I remember when I switched up on my new medicine for my last seizure, those feelings was like really intense, bro. Like I was like, man, every day waking up and the feeling like, man, I don't want to be here. Like, like this ain't my life. And, like I gave up on myself for a minute, but then, man, things just started clicking, bro. Like I was praying, I was crying my eyes out. I was on my mom and dad's floor in their room, just crying. I'm like, this is what I'm feeling, like this is what I'm going through. But my last seizure, I didn't even remember my son. Right. Wow. When I came back from it, I was like, man, I don't know who this is, but I know, like, I don't know. My mom and dad, I could kind of cipher like, oh, they're my mom and dad, because every time that moment in my life happened, they were always there for me. Right. So I was like, oh, they're not like scary people to me right now. Right.
Wow.
Where my son, I was like, I didn't know who this was. And that's when got me into like, man, I need to start making more videos of things and like recording stuff, because if that ever happens again, I need to go back and look at this. If I do make it from my next seizure or whatever. Wow. Luckily, it's been a couple years, that I had one, but that got me into like recording and stuff more, and within that time, I was like, man, I got to try to find happiness and what makes me happy. I've always known about working out, like we talked about. Always known. I've only provided positive into everybody's life that I've been around, even when I've made mistakes and done wrong. Ultimately, I've always been a positive person in these aspects of my life. And so then, therefore, I said, what do I love to do? I love working out. I love taking supplementation, So why can't I try to make my own supplement company? But during that process, I learned something. I started getting into stocks a little bit too.
Okay.
And stocks kind of were the thing that kind of kept me going, because I was like, man, I can make some money, be a little happier, not have to work at this job anymore.
Yeah.
And if I could figure this maybe out, I don't have to work at this job that I'm already sad. I don't want to be working in the lab my whole life. This ain't my life.
Right,
I got a divorce. I'm taking care of a kid by myself. Like, I'm going through it, right? So I'm hold on. Like, so like the stocks at first, I got into it a little bit, right? And then I started learning a little bit about it. And this is how I got one of my logos for my company.
Right.
Sometimes when it starts dipping, a lot of people will start buying into it because they're like, they see it as a discount. Right. You might be like, oh no, I'm out. I'm losing money. I'm scared. I'm out of here. And another person be like, they tripping, that's a discount. I'm going to buy more of this, right? Because eventually they know what is going to go up. It's going to go back up. And so then when I was like starting my company, I'm like thinking of my logo. I'm like, man, that's about evolving, right? And I just want to be better. And this is what I've always in my life, my spirituality, my mindset, and like the body was something I knew I had to take care of, like it's been who I am at a young age. And I said, man, that trend and arrow, right? It relates to life. Stop caring about stocks. Really. I started diving in. I said, you know what? If you really believe in yourself and you really love yourself, we're all going to have them times where we go down, right? And so like that trend and arrow, bro, you're going down, but then ultimately, if you do what's right, you're going to go back up. If you make it through and you don't give up, you're going to go back up. And that's a fact, right? And sometimes it's so hard because we deal with the world, and all the pressures that we deal with and our trials and obstacles that we come, that we can really flood our brain with the worst of the worst. And like, I can't see myself. I can't do it. And you just start speaking all those bad things into existence. And if you truly believe in yourself, you truly love yourself, truly love the ones around you, and you can find your why in life, man, you're going to go back up. And even when you're going up, you're still going to have them times where it goes back down. But now we going back up. So it's all good. So I put that into Evolve, and Evolve is, it's hard to say it's a company because it's really me, right? It wasn't like, oh, this is a company. It's like, it was me. Like, and this is what I want to be as a man. And instead of spelling it with the E, it's with the 3, because it's the 3 core values in life to evolve. That's 1, your spirituality, right? That's number 1. 2 is your mentality, right? Your mind. And then 3 is the body. The body follows. The body's last, man. And, I did a lot of research, and, it's like, your central nervous system is connected to your muscles, right? And so the happier you are and you're exercising, the better you're going to look. That's the key of it. And that's what my mindset is. Other people could disagree all day long, but this is something that I'm really locked in on. Like, if you find your happiness in life and you're exercising throughout that, and you stop doubting yourself more, right? You don't think you're going to look better? Come on. Your body's going to follow. The only people that don't is people who end up having to take stuff. Steroids and stuff. You know how it is. Like, they got to take stuff, but they be the most depressed people on this earth, bro. And to me, it's like, I've never been that way. My dad taught me at a young age, don't ever cheat on myself, and keep doing things the right way. And, my mom taught me the spirituality of it. My mom held the family together. And so that's evolved, man. It's about your spirit, mind, and body, and like really being these type of ways. And when you're wrong, taking accountability as a man, looking in the mirror, and putting yourself on a platform as a man, which eventually I want to give other people the platform to be like, your journey is like somebody else's journey out there. How are we going to get that out there, though? You got to put it out there, talk about your story. But a lot of people don't like to talk. And when we talk about masculinity and men, a lot of men don't truly want to talk about it. They think it makes them less of a man. Not me. I'll talk about it. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I know what I am as a man. I know how I'm going to protect. I know how I'm going to move around life. And I know I'm going to move around with God on my side. So therefore, I'll be vulnerable. And if I have to shed a tear, if you have to get in a deep conversation and a tear come out, I'm okay with that. It's good. That's not make me less of a man. Don't make me weak. No, I know how strong I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of where like Evolve came from. So within like supplementations and like, I started learning like a lot of supplements is just a label too, right? Vitamin D3 is vitamin D3. There's a whole bunch of vitamin D3s and stuff like that. So to me, it's like, you know what? It's like your mom's cooking, right? They got energy in it though, right? Another can be your mom's cooking. It's different. And the same thing. The person behind Evolve is me. And when you really get to know me and know who I am, that's what's behind it all. It's not, and I was part of companies growing up that were younger that they didn't care about what really mattered. If you didn't look a certain way, if you didn't have a certain following, we don't need you. Come on. Your story don't matter. Why do you think people started taking all these steroids and doing all these things? They have to look a certain way, buy followers, do all this stuff because they have to look what they want to make money. I'm not a money person. This is who I am. I'll put somebody that's not that is heavier on Evolve. I'll put somebody that is, I don't care.
Yeah.
What's your story and how are you going to get better?
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's follow that journey, because so many people are going to relate to the things that you're going through in life.
Yeah.
You know, beginner or not.
You know, I love how you say that, bro. One thing, remember, even it said, and I might chop this up, remember, it was like, you showed me this yesterday after we talked about it. He was like, focus on the kingdom of heaven and all other things will be given to you. You know, today it was crazy. I woke up, had some stuff going on in the business that I seen. And I was like, oh, I was stressed. I went back in the stress mode because certain situation happened a while, some finance stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, bro, like this is about to happen again. Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna move on this? And da-da-da. And then I sat back and I was like, you know what? All right, you're dealing with this, you're dealing with this, you're dealing with this. What is your area of influence? You can't change what you have, no way to do it. So I literally prayed and I was like, man, look, Lord, whatever happens with this happens. If there's anything I can do, give me the way to do it. But if not, I'm just going to trust it, bro. And I just went to that's when I went to the gym. You know what I mean? I just went to the gym to get my mind off all that and get to going. Literally, bro, when I parked in front of the gym, I got the email. It all came through. Swear to God, I promise you, bro. I was like, wow. But it said what you were saying. It's like, so I'm not a money person, but the fact that you're focused on vision, you're focused on how you move and moving forward, being a good, you let go, it comes to you.
Yeah.
You know 100%. What I mean? It's about something in the soul, bro.
I'd rather be a good person that gets have money that just follows me. Right. That I'm able to do the things that I want to do instead of being a crappy person with all this money, treating people like
right.
I don't want to be that. You know? That's everything that I'm against.
Right.
God's going to take care of me and my family, and he knows the desires of my heart. Right. And he'll fulfill those desires of my heart. And in the scriptures, it talks about that. Right. But you have to, like we talked about, you got to seek him first. You got to put him first for those to happen. Now, if you're somebody just searching, you can't be a slave for two riches, for two masters. You know, the Bible says you can't be a slave for riches and God. You got to choose, right? Yeah. And you know, and bro, I love how you're able, you remind like how Myron Golden is, like how he puts like the faith with like business. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people like to say like having a bunch of money is evil, but they're like the love of money is evil. Like you said, that's a whole different thing. I was talking to a group of young folks, right? And they were talking about, I was like, what do you guys want? I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to have $1 million. I want to do this. So I was like, why? And they were like, well, because if I got a lot of money, this and this. And I said, so okay, then what's the purpose of having money? Tell me. What do you want? Just to have the money. I could just get things. I said, well, what's the one word that wraps all that up? What do you want? They were like, I don't know them. I'm like, bro, you want options, bro. You just want options you never had. Money's not even real. Like, let's be honest, it's not even real, bro. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, these digital numbers on your thing represent something, and we place value on these different things based on the world economics, how shit's going. It's not even real. You look for options, bro. You know what I mean? And so that's what I had to come back reading. One of my mentors told me, reminded me of Atomic Habits, and was like, you gotta remember the vision. Don't fall in love with the goal. Remember, the vision isn't the millionaire. The vision is to be able to go to Disney World, in VIP. The vision's to be able to provide a nice, loving household for your son. Exactly. The vision is to be able to even take care of your son. Like, you know what I mean? The vision is all these different things, bro, but we get caught up in that. But I do want to say, I want to bring up, we were having a conversation before things started, right? About Disney World. You said it was dope. Had a great time. Talked about getting VIP. You know what I mean? For anybody they don't know, you guys didn't get VIP. Like, I didn't know it was that affordable. Yeah, no, it's not bad. Yeah. Yeah, bro, that trip alone, bro, that was on my vision board.
What? You see, I didn't know that part. Yeah. You didn't tell me that part.
I had a vision board.
Yeah.
And on the vision board was the Tesla.
Yeah.
The vision board was the supplements. The vision board was the Disneyland for my son. And I'm living in a low income apartment at the time when I made this vision board. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of the last things that I got to check off that vision board, man. So taking my son to Disneyland, and it was a great opportunity. Difficult time though, you know, of other things that I'm going through in my life, but to see the joy in that, you know, going VIP and all that. But I want to elaborate a little bit on what you're talking about, bro, about that vision, because we talking about kids a little bit too, and like the youth. And when you have that mindset of like, you know, why you want to be rich, you know, and even if you are somebody that don't love money like me, I fell into the trap. And that's why I stopped making money. That's why I stopped doing as much content and things that I was doing, because you start falling into those traps and them snares that the devil puts out before you. And I started kind of falling in love with a little bit of money and doing things that I didn't want to really do before, partying a little bit and kind of really getting off track, right? And I'll tell you what, it's the worst thing that could possibly happen to you in your life. You got to remain focused and you got to have God on your side, because when you start going that way, you at least have something that you know that's going to try to put you back on the place. Because me as just taking accountability, I lost a lot of relationships during that time, you know, because I could blame them for a lot of things, but at the same time, bro, like I knew ultimately that I started falling in love with money and all these other weird things that I never cared about. And my personality and who I was and who Shawn is and who Shawn, that you know, that you meet, that people meet me in person, you know who I am, my family. I started losing track of that, Shawn. But I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful, because during that time, I relied on God during that time to be like, I don't want to fall in love. So I stopped making money. I'll stop doing the things. That's why I've been like laid back. My supplements, you know, revamping the page and stuff, because I had to step back, bro. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to keep putting. That's a negativity I'm giving out the world. I'm falling into the traps of entertaining and things like that. I don't want to do that. And just because I speak about God, I want to make it very clear. I don't, in no way, shape, or form, I'm saying that I'm perfect. I'm not going through things in my life right now. But that's one thing that I felt like the people who truly know me know that I've always kind of held back from people that don't know me, is really that at the end of the day, my faith in Jehovah God is everything about me. And that's who I am. And that's what makes me the man that I truly am today. And so me speaking about him doesn't make me, I'm not, go judge me for whatever you want to judge me for. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be scared to speak about my belief and my spirituality. That's really what my company is about. But for the youth, like we talked about, I just want to elaborate a little bit on that, bro, because I think when you are becoming a successful person, or you want to become successful, and you have the right visions, you have the right dreams of your why, don't fall into the traps that the world will bring to you, because you could go off track and you lose people that you truly love in your life. And you don't want to do that, like, because you'll get broken and then you can lose it all, you know? And that's why when relationships, that's why in relationships now, bro, is finding somebody who will love me through me if I lost it all today, you know? And are you going to help me bring me up and truly love me? Because, you know the man I am and the mentality that I'm going to have and the people I have around me and my support system, I'm going to be all right. I got God on my side, and that's greater than anything. We talk about riches, right? But what makes you the most rich is having God in your life. You know, and having that right type of love. And man, money can't buy that. You see the famous people, bro, billionaires doing crazy stuff. Like,
I respect, and I respect that, bro. I respect that a lot about you. And I think that was the perfect way to tune it, to like bring it down, bro, to bring it up. Let's say that, man. Can you tell everybody, tell the viewers where they could find you, man, if they want to tap in or, you know, follow your page? And
just at Shawn Flex, evolve.fit on IG as well too. All social medias are the same. There's so many fake profiles out there.
Right.
Man, it's crazy.
He has to check, man.
Man, it don't even matter, bro. It's still crazy. Like, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, watch Shawn Flex. If it's not watch Shawn Flex, it's fake.
Okay,
and I can't control it. You know, at times, man, when you get big in social media, that stuff.
It gets crazy.
Man, because then it's like they try to portray you the ways that they want to portray you. They try to make money off of you. You know, it's crazy and it's really sad. But then you realize you have no control over it. So by the way, if it's not watch Shawn Flex, it's not me. So,
I appreciate it. I was looking at the comments, man. Big shout out to Antoinette. Have a great day. Thank you for that, man. We just dropped the connect inside the chat box, right? Appreciate you, Devontae, for sending that too, man, on everything. My guy, L Rock. All right, man. Look, man, this has been another dope episode of Second Chance Success podcast. We had Shawn, aka watch Shawn Flex. Beautiful things, man. Tap in. His link will be in the bio. Much love, y'all. Stay dope.
Love y'all.